So after sharing my last video, I noticed something I'd like to clarify. What you saw me describe in the previous video was a reflection after the fact. So it's not a script that I follow in every session. In a moment of a treatment, nothing is forced and nothing is planned. You cannot plan those kind of things. It's not like you can run through a list of questions in your head. It's when the still point appears. The still point is like a moment where the body, the mind, everything settles. You're going into a meditative state and the craniosacral rhythms stop. We call it a still point. And from that place, something significant is happening. And sometimes a question will arise. Sometimes no words are needed at all. But if a question does come, it's not because it's a technique that you always use. Um, it's because it fits what's showing up in that moment. So if you heard a specific question in my previous video, know that it was just an example, a way of putting words to an experience that was already unfolding. Everybody's different. Every session is different. And it's the body that leads. We follow. And whatever needs to be acknowledged, it tends to surface when there's enough stillness and safety. That's the work. But I would like to share another session where inquiry arose very organically. There was a woman in her 50s and she came with arm pain. I honestly don't remember if it was the right or the left. And that detail doesn't feel important to me right now. But at one point, out of simple curiosity, I asked her if the pain had a name. I wasn't expecting much, but she paused and said, "Yeah, I call it prick." That surprised me. It felt very specific. So I gently asked, "Mm, is there anyone in your life you call prick?" She burst out laughing and said, "My husband." And in that moment, something shifted. In craniosacral, you can do it with many different options. Uh, you you just become like a chief of orchestra. He says, she says, so your spouse says, blah blah blah, and you reply, blah blah blah. So she began to speak, and it was almost like a conversation between herself and him. They had been fighting a lot. He felt like she was trying to control him, so he was rebelling. He was drinking with his buddies, and she kept asking, "What time would he come home?" So as I'm holding the tissue of her arm, there was this dialogue that went back and forth, almost like ping pong, between what she imagined he would say and what she wanted to respond. And then something much older surfaced. She remembered that her grandfather had died alone in a ditch, and it took a long time before anyone realized what was happening. So in that moment, she understood something very important. She was not really trying to control her husband. She was carrying like a much older fear, the fear of someone she loves being alone in danger without anyone knowing. And she became very tender. Like there was a lot of crying happening during that realization. Her questions about when he would come home, they were not about control. They were about making sure he wasn't hurt or gone without her being aware. And that realization brought a lot of softness. And again, it's not something that you could plan or script. The inquiry followed what the body and the moment were already revealing, and the body remembered before the story did. So it's very often this how this works unfolds.